Chene Park is celebrating 30 years as Detroit's entertainment jewel on the Riverfront. The concert venue was the vision of Mayor Coleman Young, who wanted to redevelop the Riverfront and give Detroiters more access to its beauty. Chene Park has hosted hundreds of superstar artists in a unique outdoor setting.
It's like heaven on earth.
Chene Park is managed and operated by The Right Productions. I'm pleased to have the president and CEO here today, Shahida Mausi-Johnson. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so I have to say, full disclosure, I grew up not far from the Riverfront. I've lived there most of my life. I remember when Chene Park opened, and I remember, more importantly, what was there before. When I was a kid, we didn't go down to the Riverfront because it was dirty and it was industrial. It was sort of dangerous.
It was.
And I can remember when they said, hey, you know what? We're going to have a concert venue there and we're going to start changing. Most people who are celebrating the Riverfront today and all the great things that are happening don't remember that this was that first step in turning things around.
It was, and it was under Mayor Young's administration that the first 3 linked riverfront parks took place as part of the recreation department. And Chene Park was initially just a stage with the backing onto the river and a hill.
Right. I remember that.
I was there too. I spent a big part of my life at Chene Park. But we did Carmen McRae there, and it was raining that day. And people came with umbrellas and sat on the hill, right? Waited for the rain to leave. And there were 6,000 people, and Mayor Young said, well, let's really build this out.
Yeah.
And it has been built out 3 times since then, but it's there, strong. The shows go on.
Yeah, I mean, now it's a lot bigger. I mean, I would say that you can see it from lots of points along the river or even back into the city. The band shell, I think, is the thing that most people I identify with. Talk about the acts, though, that have been there. I can remember as a teenager standing on the front steps of my house listening to some big names down at Chene Park, but that's been true since the beginning and is certainly true now.
It is. It's an important part of the community. It is just a mile from downtown, just a mile from the Renaissance Center, but we've had all kinds of acts at Chene Park. Since the 12 years that my company has been managing and operating it, we've had from Bollywood shows to rap shows to, well, the jazz series has been going on for 30 years since Carmen McRae days. Right. And so that's just been a constant on Wednesday nights. And there's such a community. It's not just a venue. Yeah. It's community.
It is. And you can really feel that, I think, if you live or work anywhere near it. The number of people who come and seem to come over and over, and it does seem like it's growing. I mean, I don't know if your attendance is up, but it does seem more and more crowded each summer.
It is, and new people are finding it, and people are coming for the first time and saying,
I can't believe this was here, right?
We did tryouts for Wheel of Fortune, and folks came that had never been before, and they're like, really?
Right.
You know, yeah. Chene Park is a great place to spend a summer night. And with the 30th anniversary with Aretha Franklin as the first time that she's coming
to else,
Chene Park. And she's bringing with her the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
So that night is just going to be dynamic.
Right. Let's talk about what date that night is going to be.
That is Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m., not to be missed.
Yeah.
She is absolutely looking forward to her first performance at Chene Park. and being a part of that community
Sure.
that exists there.
Yeah. Talk about, I mentioned earlier that this was the first sort of turn on the riverfront toward that public access, that sort of park space. Now you've got a lot of neighbors, you got a lot of company down at Chene Park. How does that fit in with, how does Chene Park fit in with everything else?
Well, if you ask the businesses up and down Jefferson and around on McDougal, you'll find that when we do business, they do business.
Yeah,
So
right.
Really, Chene Park and the arts generally are part of an economic engine. It's part of an industry.
Yeah.
And it's an industry that Detroit has deep roots in. So from the creating business, from developing artists, to producing venues for them to perform in, and to distribute their work all across the world.
Yeah.
Chene Park is a part of an industry in Detroit, and that's something that really people need to be aware of. We employ over 300 people at Chene Park every summer.
Right. That's real economic.
That's real economic
activity. And I also feel like it's a venue where you can see people who are not necessarily going to be on stage at some of the other venues around town. I mean, I feel like there's still an access issue that Chene Park really fulfills.
Well, it's nice to be independent.
Right? You're not part of the circuits that some of the other venues have.
We're not Live Nation.
Right.
We're not AG. We're the Right Productions.
Yeah.
And we're homegrown, and it's a family business.
Right.
And we get to do things like bringing Aretha with the Isley Brothers, which they've not shared a stage before.
Right.
But I can call one and call the other.
But you can
get them
work
together.
that all out, and
Exactly.
they can do it.
Or when we did Derek May with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. That's the first time in America that has happened.
Yeah.
So as an independent entity, there's a value in that, because you can get creative with it, and you can really connect to your community and serve your community in a unique way.
Right.
And that's what we try to do.
Yeah. And now we have two other concert venues that I can think of right along the riverfront. One in front of the Rensen, which is not a permanent venue, but they do put up a stage and have acts there. But then the West Riverfront is the new one, which is a big sort of almost Pine Knob-like, it seems, kind of stage. Those are different from Chene Park, but do you worry about that maybe there's too much now or too much competition?
Not at all. The unique thing about Chene Park is that it was built and developed as a major concert venue, which means that we've got 6,000 seats, and 5,000 of those are under the canopy.
Under that canopy, right.
So it can rain cats and dogs.
Right, doesn't matter.
All of that, right? And we've got a show.
Yeah.
We have lost one half of one show in 12 years.
Is that right? Wow.
So, you know, it's always rain or shine. You're under the canopy, you're out of the weather, but you're in the evening, in the summertime.
Right.
And that's, you know, Detroit weather can get challenging.
It's one of the real problems around here, right?
So you've got to get your summer on.
Yeah, right.
Really,
we don't have much of it.
You got to take full advantage of it, and Chene Park is where you can do that. The West Riverfront is a new location, but it's not covered at all.
It's not. That's right. There's no protection there, and in fact, a couple weeks ago when they had a festival there, it rained like crazy, and
our show
people
went
left.
on, no problem.
Is that right? So I thought I heard that there are going to be some more changes at Chene Park. You're building some things, right?
We're always working to improve Chene Park. Always working to make it a better experience for our customers and for our artists as well.
Yeah.
It's a great venue. It's won architectural awards. If you haven't been there, it's really beautiful.
It is. To
see the boats come into the backdrop of the stage and a summer breeze.
Yeah, right.
It's outstanding.
So you've got a month or so left in the season this summer. What are some other highlights other than that 30th anniversary concert that people?
Well, that's one. We also have church services at Chene Park sometimes. We've got Second Ebenezer and El Bethel both coming to do church services at Chene Park. So, take it to the water.
Right.
Which is real.
Yeah.
We do graduations.
I know, the graduations every year, you see all the kids come out.
And we have graduates coming not only from Detroit schools, but from the suburban schools as well. It is a place of coming together. It's a tradition in southeastern Michigan. We also have Return of the Legends. So if you like hip hop,
Right.
Legends Weekend is Labor Day weekend at Chene Park. So we've got T.I. as the headliner, and he is. I mean, you'd be surprised at the breadth of his audience.
Yeah, right. That's right. It's not who you would. It's not just who you would expect.
It's not just who you would expect. There's some mothers and some grandmothers that are definitely going to come see T.I.
Yeah.
Because he's a gentleman and he's got something on his mind, and that's part of what hip hop is all about.
Sure.
Is sharing thoughts.
Yeah.
And come to Chene Park and think about some things.
Right. Right. So the season closes when?
Well, it looks as though we're going to be closing Labor Day weekend, but
Okay.
stay tuned, that might change.
There might be more. All right. Well, congratulations on 30 years. We'll look forward to the next 30.
And be sure you go to ShaneParkDetroit.com or Ticketmaster. There are a lot of scams out there trying to get...
trying to take the false tickets and stuff like that.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Finally, all of us here at American Black Journal want to extend our condolences to the family of Arthur Green III. Mr. Green was the president of the Detroit chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen. He appeared on this program 2 years ago to talk about the recovery of a Top Gun trophy that was won by the Tuskegee Airmen in 1949. Mr. Green died last week when the small plane he was piloting crashed in northern Michigan. He's survived by his wife and 2 sons. That's our program for today. Thanks for watching. You can get more information about our guests at AmericanBlackJournal.org. And as always, connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Plus, you can also hear our program on WDET 1019 FM. We'll see you next time.